What if I tell you that feeling lost is actually a very good sign that you are awakening? What if I told you that there is actually no rule that says that you have to figure out everything in life in your early 20s? What if I told you that comparing yourself to others is the biggest lie society ever sold us? In today's video, I'm going to share some root causes that might cause us to think that we are behind in life and how is self-sabotaging us. And also, I'm going to talk about mindset shifts and solutions that will help us to overgrow these hurdles and succeed. Or maybe I'm lacking something. Oh, I'm not talented enough. For example, you are giving exam, you are writing, some random teacher stare at your paper like, how will you feel? Teacher comes giving you that eye. Hello. And the healthiest minds and the healthiest mindset and the healthiest mindset. Wow. And the healthiest mindset. Okay, so before starting this video, can you please ignore my bun? Your girl doesn't know how to do bun, but I want to do bun, but I don't know how to do. So here are some of the core reasons that you might feel left behind at the first place. So number one, rat race. Now what is rat race? Let's talk about the definition of rat race. Rat race is that endless chase where everyone is busy comparing, chasing and proving, but no one is actually living. It tricks you into believing that success is all about being faster than others. The faster you achieve in life, it means that you are actually winning, but it's never the case. And why rat race is such a big trap? Rat race isn't just about working hard. You see, if you work hard for your own goal and be patient with this, that's a difference. But if you constantly feel the need to prove others that you must figure out life in young age, then you have fallen in the rat race. Rat race is about endlessly running towards something with no purpose, with no passion. Now you will say that, it's my dream career or it's my dream degree and I'm studying for it, I'm working for it because I'm passionate. But actually there is a huge difference when it comes to doing something with passion and passion and love in your heart and then come doing it in a hurry, in a desperate way.
And also for external validation and external reward.
Like, no, I have to fulfill it. No, I have to complete it. Why there is so much desperate? Who told you you must complete everything by yourself?
What you gonna do about it? Nothing.
Well, actually you can do a lot.
Why do you feel the need? The rat race is a cycle that looks like you compare, you chase, you achieve, but you feel empty after achieving. Why is that? Because it was never your sole purpose. If it was your dream, desperately work without giving yourself break, at the end you will feel absolutely burned out even after achieving your dream.
That's why it's far better to slow things down rather than forcing yourself to do things just to get a feeling that you are faster in life.
Whatever you did that thing with the concept of scarcity mindset, not abundance. And once you achieve here, you don't feel the need to prove. You don't give deadline to yourself like that. Oh, I must be a millionaire. Right. I must buy my house at this time. You have a dream. That's your goal. Good. Work for it. Patiently. Even after working for it, you see that it's not coming. Trust the divine time. Don't beat yourself up for it. You know you are working, right? And one of the biggest reasons for feeling behind is because you don't give yourself enough appreciation. For example, what about those small success? What about those inner achievements? What about those days where you felt like you couldn't move but you woke up and still worked? What about those days where you were crying alone, where you were super stressed? Who picked you up? It was you. What about those days you had to give yourself self-talk, self-motivation to do something hard even though it was completely out of your comfort zone, but still you did it?
You feel behind in life because you fail to realize the fact that these things are success too.
What about those things? Why are you not giving yourself the credit you deserve? Why are you waiting for the world to recognize your potential, or you're talented, or you're beautiful, or you're confident? Why are you waiting for the world to decide your worth? That's how you fall in this trap. Solution and mindset shift that help you not to fall in this trap, helps you not to self-sabotage in any way or form. Number one, start treating the process as the main goal. Now what do I mean by that? Suppose rather than asking yourself, did I get the promotion? Did I pass? Tell yourself, did I completed my work? Did I completed my assignment? Did I done my homework? Did I revise? Am I educated on this topic? If not, okay, let's pick up 10 minutes. I'm going to educate myself in this topic. In this way, you are not putting that level of pressure in your head, you see, and you eventually start to appreciate yourself for every single small goal you take. If you just work without rewarding yourself, without showing yourself gratitude, at some point you will lose interest. You don't understand. It's the process that builds us. It's the process that creates us. It's the process that helps us grow, not the end goal. When you finally will achieve the end goal, you will realize that it was really the camp process. It's the camp process. The second trap that I will talk about, the comparison trap. Those fancy reel and TikTok you see over the internet, they are staged and curated ASL. You don't know what's real, what's fake. Now if I talk about something very reality based, suppose your friend or colleague you compare yourself with, maybe they started their journey way before you, or maybe suppose you both started in the same timeline. Maybe you don't know they put a bit extra effort behind the scene that you are completely unaware. But that does not mean you're behind in life, because everyone has their own natural rhythm of life. Some bloom at their early stage, some in their 30s, some in their 40s. So it goes on. Completely unfair if you compare your chapter 2 to somebody's 20. You start to self-sabotage yourself and you stop growing because your focus is too sideways, not internal. Things grows where your focus goes. So if your focus is all about what they're doing, they got a car, they got a house, they got a promotion, your focus, your energy is all over the place. Since it's never on yourself, you stop growing, the actual thing you need to improve. And so when your growth stops, you feel stuck and you question yourself. Oh, maybe I'm lacking something. Oh, I'm not talented enough. Oh, I do not look good. Maybe they are smarter than me. They are more better than me. So here's the solution for you. You have to start accepting the fact that everyone has their own rhythm of life. Now, what do I mean by this? Some people bloom very early. Some people bloom very late. But that does not change that fact whether they are talented, whether they are disciplined. Trust me, one day it will be your turn too, where life works for you, where everything starts aligning. But your job is to put that damn effort. Don't stop. Keep going, keep putting the effort, keep nurturing your ideas, keep working for your dream, and one day it will come true. The trick is you have to keep going. You have to completely detach with the idea, the illusion. In order for me to keep going, is I need physical proof that my idea is working. But that does not how it works. Because think about those late bloomers. Think about those people who got rejected so many times, but today they are the most successful people to exist on this earth. Let's talk about Colonel Sanders, the founder of KFC. Founded KFC in his 60s. Before that, was he a rich person with a lot of wealth, or was he successful? No, he was a normal person. He worked as farmhands, he worked as streetcar conductor, railroad fireman, and so many odd jobs. J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter, and before that, Harry Potter got rejected 12 times. J.K. Rowling was a teacher and she used to work multiple low-paying jobs, and her personal life wasn't great. Canva got rejected 100 times. I repeat, 100 times. We all use Canva. Everyone is talking about Canva. And there are so many examples of people who succeeded. Either way, the most common trait they all had is that they never gave up. Despite the rejection, despite their financial problem, despite the working condition, despite their current status in life, they never gave up. It's not the fact that out of nowhere they became successful and got famous and got everything in life. It was never that. They were already talented. They already had that vision in here. They already won in here. They were winners in the mind. It's just the world took time to recognize all those things. World recognizing their worth late did not make them unworthy before that. The world failing to recognize their talent did not make them behind in life. So same goes with you. Maybe the world is failing to recognize your worth. It does not make you behind in life. And now I'm going to talk about a method that I keep looking up to whenever I feel like my ideas are not working, I'm failing, or I don't have what it takes, or whatever the efforts I'm putting is being wasted. I love looking up to watering the seed metaphor. Now what do I mean by that? When you plant a seed, you water it daily, but you never really expect that plant to grow overnight. Plant's root has to spread underground first for a plant to grow. You do not question if things are happening or not, the root spreading properly. You just keep watering it on a daily basis, and you wait. Even if you don't see anything on the surface level, underneath a lot of things are happening. Okay, the same goes with your dreams and goals. I repeat, maybe you can't see anything on the surface level. That does not deny the fact that root soil, the foundation is getting stronger because you refuse to give up. You are still showing up. That doesn't deny the fact that you are listening to this video right now because you wanna look for solution, and slowly the plan starts growing. Same goes with your goal. It will grow. And one of the things that I don't see people talking about enough is that how trauma is also responsible for making people grow late in life. While everyone is busy figuring out life, deciding who they want to become, there are people out there who are busy surviving, thinking about how they will survive the next day. They were busy protecting themselves. So if you experience trauma, it's natural for you to grow late in life. And I want you to be gentle with yourself and have this compassion. Life is long for you to figure out life, and trust me on that one. Have care for yourself. It's okay. There is no rule that says that you must figure out life early. So pause and take a huge deep breath, okay? You got this, and you will figure out life eventually. And one of the most important things that you must achieve in life is you have to start detaching your self-worth from external success or your work or what you do or how much money you have, your external gains or achievement. And when you start measuring your worth by your work, you unconsciously hand over your identity to something very temporary. The moment your performance drop or your grades drop, talk about the worst case scenarios, you get fired or a business idea that you worked a lot for did not work. That's when your entire image starts shaking, and that's when failure feels like a soul level hurt, and you start feeling lost because you tangled your self-worth with external results. And let's talk about reasons why it's not healthy. Number one, it traps you into constant performance mode. So now when you are working, you are doing it in a performance mode. You put a marks on and you start performing, not actually expressing, and you put that much level of pressure on yourself to constantly perform better. That's when your nervous system starts feeling unsafe, and that's when the quality of your words get affected. And soon enough, you feel exhausted. You do not enjoy what you do. You feel trapped in it for a reason. Number two, it start blocking your creativity. So, for example, you are giving exam, right? You are writing, and a random teacher stare at your paper like that. How will you feel? You will feel nervous, like you will question yourself. Oh, am I doing the right thing? Oh, maybe I'm doing the wrong thing. Maybe that's why the teacher is looking at me. I don't know. Suddenly your mind freezes. You don't know what to write. You are like, what should I write? Like your mind starts lagging because now there is a pressure because someone is watching you. So that's how it works, right? When you work, okay, you just see yourself like constantly observe what you are doing, like constantly watching over. Oh, am I performing right? Oh, am I doing the right thing? Maybe I'm doing it wrong, and so much more, right? You just over analyzing whatever you are doing is that kind of like unnecessary pressure in the head blocks your creativity. Or else before that, remember, you were writing, you don't know anything. Even in exam support, you don't know anything but sing, or maybe you were prepared, right? You were still writing anyways, okay? Then the teacher comes, gives you that your creativity, the flow you were writing with got blocked. Same goes with you watching yourself, overanalyzing yourself, overanalyzing every single move you make. It just works like that, and it really disconnects you from your true self. You forget that fact that it's your existence, it's your heart, your kindness, your warmth, your unique presence. That's what's define your worth, not what you do or how successful you are or how much money do you own. It's your unique presence that makes you worthy, that makes you precious, not your occupation or your materialistic success. Now let's talk about how to detach your worth from external success. So number one, redefine success as a form of expression, not validation. Now what do I mean by this? Through your work, you get to express a part of yourself, not your entire identity. So it's quite unfair if you judge your entire existence based on your work, on how much you gain, how much successful you are in life. Absolutely unfair. You judge your entire existence based on few failures and constantly beat yourself up for it. Instead of asking yourself, how did it perform? Ask yourself, did it express who I am? That shift alone changes the energy behind everything you create. Number two, you have to start practicing being without doing. Sit alone with yourself without productivity, without studying, without working, without planning or improving. No fixing, just you existing. You will end up realizing the fact that you are more than your word. You are not who you were. You are who you are. Number three, separate your self-identity from your achievement. You do this thing. They do not define define you. Now let's talk about the mindset shifts that you can apply. Start to understand and tell yourself, my value is not in my doing. My value is in my being. And the healthiest mindset is realizing your work is one channel through which your soul expresses itself, and it's not the definition of your soul, a part of it. And that's what brings us to the end of the video. But before closing this video, I have a poem for you all. So sit back, relax, and listen.
Each grain of soil beneath my feet holds a story quite incomplete. Every grain, a step I take, tiny efforts the future will wake. I plant a seed, a fragile dream. It looks so small, but root will scheme. Beneath the earth where eyes can't see, my work unfolds invisibly. The breeze arrives, it whispers doubt. The storm comes in, they twist about. They shake my stem, they test my ground. But still I grow, I won't ever back down. For after storm, the sunlight streams. It feeds the soil, revives my dream. In every ray, a truth I find. The hardest day shaped the strongest mind. So I water faith, not fear or haste. I learn that growth is never waste. Each step, each breath, each unseen hour builds the root that gives me power. And one day, soon I will bloom in grace, not because I ran the race, because I loved each inch I grew, the soil, the storm, the sun, and you.